Alright you guys, welcome to another deck video. Today we're going to be going over Tail Revenge Gyarados. Little backstory here. I actually just got done recording a 20-minute video on this deck, and I realized that it was on preview mode, not on recording mode. So, if this seems a little rushed, it's because I'm very frustrated that I just got done talking and nothing happened. My voice is getting very sore already, but I'm in this really good mood, and I want to just keep recording videos just for my own personal gain, I guess, and maybe yours if you like watching these. So, hopefully I don't sound too rushed. I hope I can remember a lot of the ideas that I talked about. And if I do sound too rushed, just like comment below being like, hey, shut up, what were you talking about here? So, if you don't know what Gyarados does, it does 30 damage for every Magikarp in your discard pile. And I maybe think to yourself, hey, Alex, why is this good? You're only ever going to max out at 90 damage because you can only play 4 Gyarados, or 4 Magikarps. Well, that's where you're wrong, sir. A little preview of a nice little tech I got coming up. That's where you're wrong. So you got Magikarp, Magikarp, and Magikarp. However, because of U150 rules and naming rules, you can also play Giovanni's Magikarp, you can play Misty's Magikarp, and you can play Shining Magikarp. This one right here is a proxy for the one that came out forever ago. That Magikarp is worth like 40 bucks or something, and I just haven't got around to buying it. I will buy it. I love this deck, so I will buy it eventually. But for now, it's a proxy. So, yeah, you can play 7 of them. Now, the general strategy with this deck is you're going to want to have one Gyarados in the active, so you're going to evolve one of your Gyaradoses, and then one of the Gyaradoses on the bench as well, in reserves here. So that when your Gyarados gets knocked out, you can promote this one and evolve there, right? So, you're going to be maxing out at about 150 damage, 180 if you're feeling a little bit risky, you can place that other one there. You just have to rely a little bit more on Broken Time Space, or Wally, in those situations. But yes, that's the general strategy. You're just going to pitch Magikarps and swing with Gyarados. So, the rest of the deck is stuff to kind of supplement that, and the ways that they do that are stuff that searches your deck, so you can discard them with cards like Professor Oak or Sycamore. Stuff that recovers, because when this Gyarados dies, you want to be able to evolve the one that you promoted really quickly, so there's a lot of recovery in this deck. Search, recovery, and draw power. There is a fair amount of draw power in the item section, and the reason that there's a lot of draw power in the item section is because we don't play a lot of energies. This is a free attack, so you can go really light on the energies if you're all in on this guy, which this deck kind of list is. If, for some reason, you don't want to play a lot of draw power, or you don't want to play that, you can play a lot of disruption, you can play a whole bunch of other cool stuff, because this deck has a lot of room, right? A lot of cool tech Pokemon. There are only 3 attackers, 7 Magikarps, all your support Pokemon, and 6 energies. And the rest of it is just to help you Tail Revenge over and over again. I need that water. I need that water big time. So yeah, that's what we got there. The other Gyarados that we are going to play, there's only one other one, and that's this Gyarados. It's the Howling Rampage Gyarados from Legendary Treasures. It is a non-EX from Black and White on, which is awesome. But it has 20 damage to every prize card that you or your opponent has taken. So late game, this guy's going to be a monster, and it helps you kind of alleviate the need for Tail Revenge. However, it does take 2 energies. So basically what you do is you slap an energy on a Magikarp, and then at any point it can become this Gyarados and Howling Rampage over and over again. So, that's the only other one. And then the only other attacker you play is this Mew here. It is to alleviate the need of a bench Magikarp. You can send up Mew so that this Gyarados can stay safe on the bench. They have to Lysander to turn off their Tail Revenge if they really want to, which is great because then they're not taking EX prizes. So these are literally the only 3 attackers in the deck, and while that may seem scary, you're never going to prize them because of the U150 ruling, and it is enough to win games because you're just blowing stuff up, and you're not relying on abilities. The counter to this is obviously Trump Card, but we play enough ways to kind of not have to worry about Trump Card. You have your support Pokemon here. Your Uxie, your Lapras, and where's the Dunsparce? Boop. These are going to be in every single deck. I don't play Spiritomb because you don't really need to evolve, like a lot of things. Like Spiritomb just doesn't want to be in the active, because then your opponent's going to trump card you, and then you don't have items either, and it's going to be real bad. It's going to be bad news. So you don't play Spiritomb for that reason. You just kind of don't need it. This deck goes fast enough as is, so why slow yourself down with Spiritomb? And then your Claydol line, that is in every single U150 deck. If you're a good player, it's going to be in every single one. And then if you're me, you're going to be playing the Porygon support line. I love having these 6 cards and these 3 cards in every deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These 9 cards plus Spiritomb, those 10 cards are usually found in most of my decks. I just love the support and the speed that it gets you. So there's that for Pokemon. That's it, right? So 9 plus the 9, 18. There's 19 Pokemon in this deck. That's it. There's nothing. Less than a fifth of your deck. Supporters. There was a lot of them. And I just got done talking about every single one of them in the previous video that I goofed on, so like I said, I'm going to kind of blast through these. Most of these are either going to be under the category of a staple or a recovery option. There's really not going to be anything in the middle. Or search, sorry. So staple, recovery, and search, like I said, that's the idea of Gyarados, is to search out for those Magikarps and discard them some way. Or it's a staple supporter to help you out. There's not very many tech supporters in this deck, or in general, really. There's, you know, good versus better. It's the U150 thing that'll always claim good versus better. Wally. Now you may be confused why Wally's in here because you're like, wait, Alex, you just got done saying Spiritomb wasn't in here because you don't really need to evolve that option. But this means that all of your search cards can now go for Magikarps to discard them. And there's a couple of cards like that. I have Timer Ball in here for that same reason. You grab Gyarados with the Timer Ball so that your Dive Ball can grab a Magikarp. It helps you that way. And it may seem weird, but it works. So, good versus better. Teammates, staple. Trevor, like I said, this is going to really search for your evolution. You may be asking, like, why isn't this just like a Holland's Mentor? Holland Mentor can't grab evolution around item lock, and this deck struggles mightily with item lock, so there's this. I'm just remembering now, there's that old Combi that you used to play in this, and I need to put that Combi in here. Now that I think about it. Remind me, fans, remind me to put Combi in here. Baby Search, just like Trevor. AZ, staple card. Colress, staple cards in every deck. Copycat, staple card, it's in every deck. Shuffle Draw. Hexmaniac, shut off abilities. You don't really use money abilities except for your support Pokemon, so Hexmaniac plus staple. It's in most every deck, 95% of decks. Karina, it's in every single deck. Super, super good. Lets you grab your Battle Compressor, which is plus 90 damage. Think of it. This card right here is literally plus 90 damage. Busted. Lookers. Now you may be asking, like, oh wait, I thought you weren't a fan of Lookers, Alex. And you'd be correct. I'm usually not. But you want to make sure that your opponent's not going to trump card you, and if they are going to trump card you, you want to kind of know. So while there's not a lot of like look at your opponent's hand effects, we don't want to, I mean, like, it's not paramount, right? It's not part of our strategy where we need to know their hand the entire time. It's just nice at times to be like, okay, am I going to get trump carded? Oh, it doesn't look like it. They need to draw cards. I'll play Lookers and I'll shuffle mine or something. And if the trump card's in their hand and they're ready to like go off on you, you could Lookers them away. So there's that. Lysander, it's in every deck. Trump card. You may be asking, like, hey, whoa, trump card's a counter. Why are you playing trump card? Well, the old Night March decks, when trump card was out, still played it. Because you don't want to overextend, right? Like, if you're in a situation where you've used all of your recovery cards and you have no way to get back Gyarados Stormfront, you're going to need to recover it somehow. And trump card's like your last ditch effort. Sure, you have to like re-establish all the stuff in the discard pile. You have to re-thin your deck. You know, you have to like be good at the game again. But it's not the end of the world. You know, trump card is a good card. It needs to be in 100% of decks, even though your strategy relies on you having all these cards. Karen is an example of a card you don't want in this deck because that's just kind of weird because you're Karening and you're not getting resources back. So, if anyone's playing Karen out there, they counter you hard. Marlies is in every deck. Good recovery options. Give me a Junk Arm and a Battle Compressor, and it's your call whether like more cards come from my hand or that's the thing. Oracle, it's in every single deck. Draw cards. Collector, in every single deck. This is just going to grab you 3 Magikarps so you can discard them. Professor Oak's New Theory. Shuffle Draw. You got Professor Sycamore, Professor Juniper. You got your Rockets Admin and your N. You got, I'm just like hiding like the few texts for last. Rosen's Research. You're going to mostly just grab 2 Magikarps with this. There's not very many energies. There's actually only 3 basic energy in the deck. So 9 times out of 10 you're just going to grab 2 Magikarps and discard them somehow. You could cut this if you wanted to. That's weird to say that you could cut Roseanne's, but this is one of the few because you don't play a lot of energy. Sages, it's just going to be Misty's Wrath, a little bit worse, but, still an option of hitting that Magikarp in your top 5. Teammates, you're going to get knocked out a lot, especially if they target down your Magikarps on the bench, so teammates to recover there. Skyla, to grab your Battle Compressor to do extra 90 damage. And now you have your 2 cards that aren't in a whole lot of decks. Psychic's Third Eye. You can grab your Magikarps from your hand and discard them. This card's a little bit underrated. It's good in other decks too. Decks that can have big hand sizes, and this deck can't have a big hand size because you're going to be drawing cards like mad. So being able to get that extra 30 damage with Psychic's Third Eye by discarding a Magikarp in your hand is actually kind of good. And then you have Iris. I like Iris a lot in decks that kind of struggle to do damage, or that their damage can be manipulated by their opponent. Stuff like Zoroark. If you're playing Zoroark, like through your opponent can just like smartly manipulate their bench, and you're like, oh no, I can't do enough damage. Iris helps you there. Same with Magikarp, or sorry, Gyarados, because they can trump card you. So Iris is going to help you immensely in the mid to late game. I think there are decks that Iris doesn't matter in, like Magnezone and that sort of thing, but there are decks that absolutely need Iris, and I think this is one of them. So, that's just me. Items. It's going to be a ton of items. Almost half your deck is items, just because you have the room, and item cards are the most broken cards in the game. So, Battle Compressor, like I've said, MVP of the deck, plus 90 damage. That's what you have to think of this as. Plus 90 damage, or a way to get like supporters, or if you're a boss and you already got your Magikarps in the discard by other means, then this just becomes a deck thinning card. So, really good card. Max Potion. You're playing an attacker that doesn't run energies. Why not play Max Potion? Why not play Pokemon Center? That's another thing you can play. So, if you're really worried about like one-shots, two-shots, there's that. Evo Soda. So the rest of your searches, just like Wally, the rest of your search cards go for Magikarps and not for Gyarados. This also helps against get around like weird locking stuff like Aerodactyl and things. So there's that. Scoop Up. We use Uxie and to make sure that you're not bad at overbenching, even though this deck doesn't have a lot of problems with overbenching. Bill, blasting through your deck. Secret Mission. It's the item equivalent of Third Eye. Super Rod. Recovery. There's a lot of it in this deck. You'll see. Escape Rope, Switch, and Warp Point. This deck needs a lot of fluidity because you only have one attacker, and that attacker needs to be in the active all the time. So making sure that you can switch between your stuff is actually very important because you only have that one attacker in the deck. So you don't want anything unwanted in the active. So you got all that. Swoop, so you're not bad at overbenching, and it's in every single deck. And actually, something I will mention about this card, as I take another sip. Agua. This is not like Ninja Boy. Ninja Boy shuffles the card back into the deck. Swoop actually discards it. So, this becomes plus 30 damage if a Magikarp's on your bench. Or if it's in your hand, rather, because you can bench the Magikarp and then swoop it away. So, kind of cool. Cool little interaction there. This card gets buffed in a deck like this. Level Ball. Stable card. It's a search card. It's in every deck. Luxury card. Stable card. Search card. It's in every deck. Error Cut. Blasting through your deck. This was originally Bill's 3, but this deck is really easy to guess what it is. Like, you either Splash, and you're like, oh, it's Magikarp, or you're like, Howling Rampage, oh, that's obviously your Gyarados. So you don't want to play Plains, you want to play Erica. Sure, it gives them 3 cards, but you're going to blow them up anyways, so. Stable card in Computer Search. Stable card in Imposter Rogue's Invention. Staple card in Palpad. Staple card in Item Finder, and Junk Arm. Misty's Wrath staple card, but gets a little bonus buff here because if there's a Magikarp in your top 7, it can go into the discard pile. Oak, same sort of thing. It's staple, it's in every deck, but gets extra bonus because you can make this a plus 30 or plus 60 damage. Same with Ultra Ball, staple, search any of your cards, but you can discard Magikarps with it. Pecom in every deck. Pokemon Retriever in every deck, and extra recovery for your one Gyarados. Via Seeker in every deck. Windstorm in every deck. Rescue Stretcher, one of the few decks that will play Rescue Stretcher and Pokemon Retriever, just because you want to grab that one Gyarados back and put it on your deck, or put it in your hand, or put it in... Oh, talking about Gyarados the second time in a row is just really rough on me, guys. Double Gust. Now, you have a lot of fluidity, and if you have a lot of fluidity in a deck, either based off items or naturally, if you have a lot for your retreat, I like Double Gust a lot, just because it turns into that, like, second pseudo Gust of Wind. If you're a good player, Double Gust will net you a lot of things. And this card loves to be in decks that like love to trade. And this deck loves to trade like non-EXs for EXs, or if you fall behind in EX races, there's that. Or the other reason is if you can't get enough Magikarps in the discard pile and you need to take a low HP knockout, Double Gust is a way to like mitigate how many Magikarps are in your discard pile. So, Acrobike, it's draw power and helps your Magikarps in the discard pile. Pokemon Rescue is recovery. Time Space Distortion is recovery, where 1 heads is good, 2 heads is better, 3 heads is actually not that great to hit with this. Timer Ball, so your other search cards can go for Magikarps. Buddy Buddy Rescue, recovery. Nightly Garbage Run, recovery. Dive Ball, so you're playing a water deck, so you're going to play Dive Ball. This can also grab Lapras. Yeah, buddy. And Lieutenant Search Treaty. I like this card in non-EX decks. I don't like it in EX decks because like your opponent can do like weird swing things where you're like where your opponent chooses to draw a prize, and then they knock out an EX that you didn't think was going to get knocked out, and they can swing the game that way. But in non-EX decks, you really don't care about that because you're trading 1 for 1 or 2 for 1 anyways. Or sorry, 1 for 2. You're always going to come out if you go into trade races, so this card just like nets you gains anyways. So there's all those. Stadiums. This is the only stadium that's actually good in the deck, Broken Time Space. These other 2, I just like having counter stadiums in every deck. This protects your poor little Magikarps. You could also play Mr. Mime if you're worried about snipe damage or spread damage. I'm not worried too much about it, just because it's like, if they kill a Magikarp, whatever, they're not killing your Gyarados. So, great. So, Mountain Ring is like, you know, it's the like, okay, I guess, you know, I guess I have to play just in case. If you're really worried about snipe, you can play Mr. Mime and Mountain Ring. And then High Pressure System gets your water Pokemon 1 for your retreat, so that your Magikarps can get really active. These 4 are in everything. It's the Elite 4 plus your Dowsing Machine. It's going to be in everything, no reason not to play anything there. And then there's a lot of tool cards, because there's a lot of room here. Like I said, mobility, so you're going to play both Fluffy Berry and Floatstone, just so you can have that kind of fluidity in your deck. Muscle Band and Choice Band. Like I said, your opponent's going to mitigate your damage by trump cards, so Muscle Band is in most everything, but Choice Band's going to be in here as well, just so you don't get backed into a corner against trump card. And then Rescue Scarf is going to be another really, really important tool card, so that you can keep that Gyarados Stormfront in your hand over and over again. And last but not least, energies, the 3 basic waters I talked about. Your double Rainbow to activate Howling Rampage on Gyarados Legendary Treasures for 1 attachment. And then the 2 ways to keep recycling Gyarados Stormfront. I now have a headache because I just got done talking about Gyarados twice in a row. But woe is me, I'm bad. If I didn't explain anything enough, feel free to message me on YouTube or Facebook. Gyarados is like probably like tier 1, tier 2. Really, really good deck. Doesn't lose to a lot. Loses to weird stuff, but not anything meta. Beats meta stuff, loses to weird stuff. And loses to Gyarados loses to Magnezone because Zebstrika and Trump card in 1 turn shuts you down big time. So, if you have any questions, let me know. Hope you enjoyed watching.